2 weeks ago, since Pokemon Unite was released, everyone has been complaining about what's overpowered, what's underpowered, and so on. And a lot of people have been using a variety of Pokemon all the way through ranked battles and having big advantages or disadvantages based on their knowledge of what Pokemon is good and what is bad. But it looks like already we got news about new rebalances coming to the game along with Spectator mode. So let's have a look at some of the patch notes that were actually already released. Now the patch notes are out, but the actual downloads for the upgrade is not out yet. This came out over on Twitter from the Pokemon Unite Twitter right here, and it looks like the changes we're going to be getting are coming out literally tomorrow, so not much time left. A lot of players watching are going to have their mains either nerfed or buffed, but it shows us the whole rebalancing that's going to happen already, including Spectator mode, which is really cool. So let's just have a look at everything here. Now this is going to be performed on the 8th of the 4th 2021 at 12 a.m. PDT or 7 UTC. Okay, so that's the time and the date for this upgrade. Let's go into it in detail. So we got bug fixes, text fixes, and spectate feature test release, which is going to be pretty cool. A test release of the spectate feature will be performed from the 8th of this update, okay, at 12 a.m. until the 6th, so sorry, from the 4th until the 6th, so for 2 days here this month, starting at 12 a.m. we're going to be able to get to watch everybody playing their games and all that stuff. At least we'll be able to watch games, we'll be able to see people playing. Now honestly, you can just watch them on Twitch though. I mean, I've been doing that and I learned a lot from being able to play well on Twitch, but it's going to be pretty cool for people to be able to actually watch the games live just like that. If there's someone that are not streamers, you'll be able to check out the top 10 and all that stuff in the world. Of course, this game is very much team-based, so check your roles. You can be able to watch your roles. It's going to be very valuable. I already did watch a lot of Cinderace plays, and I learned a lot from that, from Masters, top 10, top 20, and I play very well as Cinderace, and I'm also getting up really well with Machamp and Alolan Ninetales too. As for bug fixes, there's an interesting one that people in the community seem to be talking about. That is the scope lens and the muscle band one, when you have them two together. If you have in the 3 positions, the 3 slots for your items on a Pokemon, if you have muscle band to the left of the scope lens to the right of the muscle band, the scope lens has 2 extra features that you're able to get out of, and that's increased crit rate as well as increased crit damage by a certain percent. Well, apparently if it's in that position, the increased crit damage, it doesn't work, it doesn't apply, so you got to swap them around, you got to put them in a different order, which is interesting. That may be one of the bugs that they might fix in this case. But moving on to the real meat of this update, and that's a lot of buffs and degrades, like downgrades or nerfs for different Pokemon, and there's some really big ones to take note of, guys, here. Charizard is getting a couple of buffs. So obviously Charizard is not overpowered, not really that powered right now. It was in the betas, it was super powerful in some of the betas and the Canadian beta, but it's not anymore because they obviously balanced it down for the game. But now looks like they're going to be reducing its cooldown, they're going to be increasing its strength on all of its moves here, which is going to be pretty big. Talonflame 2, one of my mains actually from the betas. I played a lot of Talonflame, it was really fun to play, and it looks like they're increasing the damage across the board on its moves here, which is going to be fantastic. So we're going to be able to do a lot more damage. It's very good for getting crits too, so that's a good Pokemon to pick up. Venusaur 2 is one of the really underpowered ones in the game, and it looks like it's being increased in damage as well as effects and move upgrade in general for Petal Dance, and as well as cooldown reduce for Solar Beam. That's going to be quite powerful because Solar Beam is a monstrous move. It has massive range and it's quite a big hard hitter, so you're going to be able to spam it a lot more than you were already able to do. Now, interesting one here is Absol. Very interesting one. Absol's already extremely strong. It has Super Luck, which increases its crit rate. You can increase its crit rate with items, and it gets incredible crits all game. And they're increasing the damage. They're increasing the damage for some of its moves, which is going to be scary. It's going to be very scary. You're going to see a lot more Absols being played. It's still a fragile Pokemon, but it's going to have more damage on its moves, which is just worrying. It's just, that's all that is. So we'll see what happens there. I think these are the 2 moves that are less picked, not really picked as much, so this might encourage people to change their builds a bit. Wigglytuff is getting increased defense and increased effectiveness for its moves. Wigglytuff was already a surprise hard hitter. It was actually pretty interesting to see in some teams, but it looks like it's getting buffed up enough because it hasn't been used that much, not really, especially at the higher levels. Now, Eldegoss, one of the staples of the meta, one of the carries for the entire team, especially when we get all balled up for those team plays, is getting huge nerfs right here. Cooldown lengthened on Cotton Guard, restoration decreased, the amount of HP you get back decreased, Cotton Spores is being reduced instead, and effects on Pokemon is being straightened. So they want to try and get you to, or encourage you to pick different moves, it looks like. We're going to be getting Cotton Spore instead of Cotton Guard, and this move's defense is increased and has been strengthened. So buffs to this move, Cotton Spore, which I believe nobody really picks. Then it has its Unite move, which is also being nerfed quite a bit. So that's quite interesting. It's going to affect a lot of the fight over, say, Dreadnought and so on. It's going to make a big difference, as well as Zapdos, by the way. So Eldegoss is a staple in every high-end team right now. It's getting nerfed, so this is going to be interesting to see how it changes. Cinderace 2, another meta Pokemon, one of the, by far, top attackers in the game by a long shot, and its attack is being reduced, straight up reduced. Blaze Kick is being nerfed, less damage. Man, oh man, Feint is being downgraded too, which was really... It was good. It was our only way out. I felt like Feint was necessary for Cinderace to make up for how low a health he has, because Cinderace is one of the lowest base health in the game, and now it's being downgraded. Its only survival method is being downgraded. Pyro Ball 2 is being increased because they want to encourage people to pick it, so that's really interesting. It looks like Cinderace is done. How about Gengar though? Another one everyone hates to see but loves to play. They're updating its moves that people don't pick, right? Shadow Ball. People don't pick that over Hex, for example. Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon is being increased from Shadow Ball, and then the move downgrade for Hex. I don't know what the downgrade means. It's just that it's not just the damage being decreased in this case. It's probably a couple of effects as well. There might be a cooldown as well as a damage decrease. So we don't know. And then Dream Eater is being upgraded, so they want to again encourage people to pick different moves that nobody's picking. Zero Aura. People like in the lower ranks like to say this is overpowered. In the higher rank, I feel like it's not. It is still good though. It's still quite good, but I wouldn't say overpowered. But it looks like we're getting some bugs fixed with Spark. I don't know what bugs they're talking about, but Wild Charge. Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon is increased. I always used Wild Charge, I believe. Oh, no, never mind. I used Volt Switch, not Wild Charge. So Wild Charge is one that people don't pick because they go for the AoE static thing, right? That does a lot of nice damage. But that's not here. That doesn't feature here, which is interesting. Cooldown's being reduced on Wild Charge because they want to encourage you to take it. As for Plasma Gale, damage dealt is being decreased in its Unite. I think that's good. Its Unite is quite strong. However, there are other alternatives, like Alolan Vulpix's Unite is very strong too, but it's just like one bam, smash hit, right? And same Pikachu's is pretty good too. So I don't know. We'll see how much. Maybe it's just a little, maybe it's a lot, we don't know. Cramorant, okay. Cramorant's one that's highly used and very strong at the beginning of the game, good for stealing opposing Pokemon. Damage dealt with opposing Pokemon decreased for its Whirlpool, and its dive damage dealt is increased. Okay, so re-altering some of the moves, trying to encourage you to choose different moves again. Machamp, a monster, just so this is one I would still say is overpowered, even in the Masters rank. I still say it's overpowered. So basic attack bug fixes, not sure what they're talking about. Cross Chop is being decreased. Okay, so Cross Chop, usually when you use Cross Chop, you get like a crit, and it hits for about 1,000, 1,500. Now, that's not going to be the damage of the move itself. That's just going to be the crit's the crit, right? Close combat's being increased to encourage people to take it. But interesting enough, the real strong move that Machamp has is not Cross Chop, it's Submission. Submission isn't being altered at all. Perfect. So Machamp is still going to be extremely viable after this debuff, I guess, for Cross Chop. Lucario is super strong one too. Very good for stealing Pokemon at the beginning and throughout the game. Bone Rush and Power Up Punch are just getting bug fixes. That's it. It's not being nerfed. It's not being buffed other than that. So there you go. It's just going to be fixed. I wonder what kind of bugs they're talking about though. Greninja, bug fixes, and Alolan Ninetales. Bug fixes for Snow Warning. Now I have an idea for what that might be. The Snow Warning actually triggers on Pokemon, including human Pokemon, that are hidden in the grass, and it just completely gives away their location. So that was useful to find a ambush in waiting, but I don't think that's supposed to happen. So that's probably going to be fixed. Snow Warning may not trigger on Pokemon that are hiding in the grass like I expect it shouldn't. So we'll see about that. That'll be good. That'll be a good fix, I think. Alright, that's it for the Pokemon coming balance next month. A lot of big changes there. It's going to change the meta a bit. I think people are going to stop using Cinderace. That's my theory there. But Machamp is definitely going to be still very viable. And then you know what? Machamp might even just replace Cinderace straight up. It is a melee, however. We'll just have to see how much damage Cinderace still can do after and see what we can mess around with in terms of the items to try and counteract the nerfs. Because Cinderace is ranged, of course, and it's still extremely useful. We'll see after this. And I am going to continue playing Machamp in Masters because it looks like Machamp is still going to be very, very good after this anyway. And yeah, Alolan Ninetales 2, still a good one. So it looks like the meta isn't being too much changed too badly. Eldegoss is being hammered, however. Eldegoss, that'll be a good one to look at too. See if people stop using Eldegoss in Masters and replace it with something else instead. However, Eldegoss still seems to be quite useful. It's going to be maybe a little more work to heal. You're going to have to aim your pollen puff things to hit your allies carefully to make sure they all get the healing and all that instead of using some of the alternative moves. Well, we'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out my Pokemon Unite streams on Twitch daily, twitch.tv/Blaines. I am Masters. I solo queue a lot, and I'm trying to work on getting a whole team that we can play with every night so we can push ourselves to #1. Go check it out, guys. It's really fun. Thanks for watching this one. See you guys around in the next video. Till then, bye.